How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Steins Gate 0. I think Dr. Leskinen just got shot. Everything was so peachy as we embarked in a completely new direction here in the game to try and find the rest of the routes. And, yeah, we got attacked, and I think Dr. Leskinen got shot. I feel really bad because, in the other routes, I kind of suspected him as being a villain of some sort, and now I feel really bad because he wasn't, and that was proven in the last one when he got killed by the real villain. I didn't know. I was keeping the possibility open that he could have been a villain, but he most definitely wasn't, and now I think he's dying. It could just be a case where, you know, here in the beta world lines, he just is destined to die at some point. It could be something like that. There's just no roundabout way. We'll just be depressed because our big, scary white man is getting shot down in some sort of way. But, yeah, let's see if he actually dies. I don't know why I'm assuming he's gonna die here. Who knows if he even got, you know, shot. I mean, it's a high possibility here. I panicked. Was this some kind of supernatural phenomenon? I was too confused to move. And then in the corner of my vision, I saw someone. A man I didn't know appeared out of the shadow of one of the pillars. He was holding something strange in his hand. It looked kind of like a handgun. It was tiny with a short barrel and kind of flat. I couldn't see any kind of silencer. I remembered him from somewhere. I felt like we'd met before. Where? I thought, but nothing came to me immediately. Yeah, this guy doesn't look familiar in any sort of way. The man was standing there mumbling something to himself.
つまずきを与えるこの世は忌まわしい。もちろんつまずきが起きることは避けられないが、つまずきをもたらすものこそが忌まわしいのだ。もしお前の手か足の一つがお前をつまずかせるなら、それを切って捨てるがいい。両手両足揃っていて永遠の火に投げ入れられるよりも、それはお前にとって間違いなく幸せなのだから。また、もしお前の片方の目がお前をつまずかせるなら、それをえぐり出して捨ててしまうがいい。たとえ片目であろうとも、貧の無の谷の炎に投げ入れられるよりずっと幸いに違いないのだ。
Yeah, I'm not really sure I like this guy's philosophical ideals. There was an aura of intensity and madness about the man as he pointed his gun at us again.
神の与えし魂とは、神の子である我々にこそ宿る。決してシリコンの上には宿らない。
See ya. Izaki stood up, turned around, and fled in terror like a startled rabbit. It showed his name as Isaki, by the way, back there in the bottom. This game is just full of errors, and it's really disappointing because the first one, as far as I could tell, was flawless in a lot of ways. And so that doesn't sound or seem good. That sound again. It was so soft and light. I couldn't even imagine that it was a gunshot. But this time the car's windows didn't break. And it didn't blow a hole in me either. It missed? Was he too focused on Izaki? But you won't be lucky, or you won't be that lucky again. Move. Maho's freaking out there. Oh shit, are we gonna drive? Hell yeah. I pushed Maho into the back seat and crawled into the driver's side. Thankfully, the engine was still running. I slammed down on the pedal without even bothering to shut the door. The sound of a powerful engine shook the underground air. The attacker flinched at the incredible noise and vibration. But the car didn't move forward. It didn't move an inch.
Shift!
Oh, thank God. Leskinen. Dr. Leskinen and Maho were keeping their heads low in the back seat and shouting loud enough to be heard over the engine. I took my foot off the accelerator. I glanced over at the gear shift. It was stuck next to the inn. Well, that explains a lot. And then through the windshield I saw the attacker ready his gun again. He was aiming at me. The look in his eyes told me he was ready to kill without hesitation.
魂はシリコンの上には宿らない。
Crap. Cracks like a spider web appeared in the windshield. This guy's aim sucks. Something went past the side of my head. Felt a sharp pain. Okay, maybe his aim's okay. And at the same time, a ringing in my ears. And all the other sounds faded away and started to disappear. I felt myself passing out. And then Maho jumped over the seat and slid into the passenger's side. My mind was pulled back to reality. I slammed the door shut, just as she told me. Maho shifted from neutral to drive and leaned over on top of me to grab the wheel. I slammed the accelerator so hard that for a moment the wheels were almost spinning in place. Then the car leapt forward. The attacker was getting closer. We were going to hit him. I was about to take my foot off the accelerator when... Maho shouted. I gritted my teeth and did as she said. But there was no impact. Evidently, the attacker had leapt away at the last second to avoid being crushed. But there was no time to confirm it as the car raced through the parking garage. We were going too fast, and since Maho was controlling the car from the passenger's seat, she couldn't keep it going in a straight line. The fuck's happening? The car spun to the left and the right, and I was almost flung out of the broken window. I grabbed onto the edge of the seat as hard as I could. We headed for the exit, slamming into walls and pillars as we went. Sounds like me in any racing game I've played. I could see an exit sign right in front of us. I pressed the brake and put my hand on top of Maho's, turning the wheel to the right. But that was the wrong thing to do. The rear tires slipped. The car spun in a circle. What the hell is happening? And then it came to a stop. I looked back and saw Dr. Leskinen lying face up on the seat, giving me a thumbs up sign. Oh, thank God. Saw something out my window. Might have been a bird. Sorry. I quickly put my hand on the door and got ready to get out of the driver's seat. There's no time to be distracted by little things. But then I saw an old creaky sedan rumbling toward us, and I shivered. What a fucking mess this is. It was the man from a moment ago. He was following us and moving really fast. Of course it won't. Had it broken when we slammed into the wall? I grabbed Maho out of the passenger's seat and rolled outside. Dr. Leskinen rolled out of the rear door. God damn. It was less than a second afterward that the sedan hit. If we'd been even just a little too slow, we would have been turned into mincemeat. I stood up and offered Maho a hand, then moved away from the unrecognizable wreck that used to be a car. Okay. That is a horrifying sight. Both cars were smashed together. The attacker's sedan was completely embedded in the rear half of the car we'd been driving. There was no way he could have survived. There were no tire marks on the ground, which meant he'd slammed into us without braking. I shivered. I had almost been killed.
とにかく警察に連絡
I was about to pull out my smartphone when the security guards heard the commotion and came running.
すみません警察を呼んでください
The security guard nodded and contacted the police. Well, thank God they are contacting the police. So we did get a little hit there. Because I was thinking for a second what may have happened was just because the gunshot was so close to us and everything, instead of grazing, it's just the sound of it. But that wouldn't make any sense. So I guess, yeah, I would have to graze him just a little bit. I could feel a pulsing ache on the side of my head. A shot from the gun had grazed me. I hadn't felt that pain at all while I was driving. It's that adrenaline. Your mind isn't even thinking about that. I fearfully reached up to touch it and felt blood flowing from my temple down to my face. I gulped when I saw that my fingertips had turned bright red. I almost saw Mayuri when she was shot in the head. I almost saw Kirisu when I'd killed her. The images felt like they were about to come flashing back to me, and I struggled to stay standing.
あなた血だらけじゃない弾が当たったの
Oh, yeah, a little bit. Maho went pale.
ここってまずい場所だったりするのか
そこには線側頭動脈っていうのがあって
見せてごらん少し触るよ
Dr. Leskinen looked at the wound. When he touched me, I felt more pain. I gritted my teeth to endure it.
大丈夫傷はそんなに深くない
よかった
これを使いなさい
すみません
Fucking love Dr. Leskinen. How could I have ever doubted him? I'm glad he's alive too. I was gonna say, if he died here, I was gonna feel so terrible for the rest of the game, really. I put the handkerchief he offered to me up to my temple.
襲ってきた人セミナーにいた人だわ
本当か
覚えてないあなたが異議を出した相手よ
That's right. It sounded like he was insulting Kirisu, so I shouted objection at him. That was the guy. Was this his way of getting back at me? Not a chance.
神の与えし魂とは神の子である我々にこそ宿る決してシリコンの上には宿らない
何
銃を撃つ前に言ってたんだ
アマデウスのことかしら
さあ
Oh, thank God the cops are coming. I could faintly hear police car sirens in the distance. The hotel security guards and staff were starting to gather.
なあこの状況どう説明したらいいんだ
Literally how it happened. There's really no way else to go about it. You know, we came down, we were getting ready to go with assistant professor Izaki, not Isaki. I don't know what they did with this game, but there's just so many goddamn mistakes. We came down because we were going to go and get dinner, right? But then, this guy came out of nowhere with his weird-looking gun, started saying some weird philosophical shit, and then tried to ram us and shoot us. There's no other way you should explain it. Just lay it all out how it
あり
happened.
のまま言うしかないわ私たちだって何が何だか
And then Maho's eyes went wide. She, Dr. Leskinen, and the crowd were all staring at a single point. I looked too, and almost screamed.
つまずきを
Are you fucking serious?
もたらすものが忌まわしい
What the hell? The man crawled out from the wreckage of the sedan, covered in blood, and then he staggered to his feet. He looked like a zombie. All his limbs except the one holding the gun were pointed off in impossible directions, and I could see what looked like bones sticking out from them. His stomach was torn open, and each time he crawled forward, I could see major organs covered in blood falling out of the hole. But he moved toward us, as if he felt no pain at all. It was such an awful sight that no one could speak. The man unsteadily aimed the gun towards Dr. Leskinen. No, please, don't do it! He must have been on the verge of death because his arm was flailing around too much to aim, but Dr. Leskinen's expression was pure terror, and he seemed unable to move.
もっとく魂今
A shot rang out. Fresh blood flew out of the man's head, and his body was blown away as if it had been hit by a truck. He fell to the ground, still clutching his gun. He tried to crawl forward anyway, but soon twitched and stopped moving. The crowd began to scream. Reasonably so. The attacker had been shot? Did he shoot himself? No, that gunshot was clearly different than the last ones. Who had just fired? Who is it? Come on, who is it? I looked around. I could see several policemen coming from the entrance, but none of them had their guns drawn. And the crowd was nothing but security and hotel staff. I couldn't see any of them carrying a gun. So who had fired? And where had they fired from? Could have been like a sniper shot. Oh no, they're in an underground garage, unless there's like an opening to the outside. I don't see that happening. What the hell? The way they took the attacker's head off with a single shot. Not just anyone could do that.
何が起きてるんだよ
It's a good fucking question, dude. Of course, no one told me. Afterward, the police took us into custody. We were taken to the police station and questioned until late into the night. The sun was almost about to rise by the time we left. The police took me home in a patrol car. Dr. Leskinen and Maho were having the police take them back to their hotel in Wako, so we split up in front of the police station. We never did find out why the man attacked us. We probably will never find out because he's dead. And even then, if we ever asked him, we probably wouldn't get a lot of information. Instead, he'd just drop some more philosophy on us that we would never understand. Anyways, seems as if we're going to be following, why can I not pronounce her name? I can't pronounce her name right now. I'm thinking of someone else. Suzuha. There we go. God damn. For some reason, I just could not think of her name. She felt dizzy. That's strange, Suzuha thought. She stopped moving. Since she was in the middle of the sidewalk, the other pedestrians looked irritated as they moved around her. She took a deep breath and waited for a moment, but she still felt dizzy. Actually, she was finding it difficult to stand. Was she hallucinating? Or was the whole world starting to get blurry? All the noise of the city around her suddenly felt very far away. It was like she was diving underwater. Was this the reading Steiner ability that Uncle Okarin had talked about? Was she starting to acquire it too? And then she realized how warm she felt. The truth hit her.
具合悪いのか私
Well, yeah, probably. She somehow managed to stagger back to the lab. It seemed she was worse off than she thought. If she could have, she would have fallen to her knees right there. During the war and afterwards, she joined up with her dad's organization. She'd been hurt badly enough to go into a coma several times. But this was the first time she had something like this, or something like this had happened since she became a time traveler.
まずいな。
She looked up into the second floor. The lights were on. She felt honestly relieved to know her dad was there. She walked up the stairs. The door was unlocked. She didn't have the energy to speak, so she tried to silently take off her shoes, and then she tripped. She fell forward.
Suzuha!
Itaru was in the room. He saw her and ran over.
大丈夫か?
She rubbed her knee and tried to stand up, but staggered again and fell into Itaru's arms.
どうしたん?
ごめん。ちょっとめまいがね。すずさん、体調悪いの?
Damn, do we have the fucking full-on squad here?
平気ですか?
When she heard those voices, Suzuha finally realized that Yuki and Mayuri were also in the room. She'd let her guard down, she realized. Yuki seemed unconcerned by Suzuha's obvious uneasiness. She walked over with a serious expression on her face.
すずはさん、おでこを貸してください。
Yuki brushed her bangs aside and put her own forehead up against Suzuha's. Suzuha's heart started pounding. She had distant memories of her mother doing this before.
ひどい熱、大変だわ。
Dario put his big hand up to Suzuha's cheek as well.
お、本当だ。
風邪かな。平気。こんなのすぐに治るから。
無理すんなって。今すぐ横になるべきだろ、ジョーコ。
そうですよ。それは分かってる。ちょっとだけ休ませてもらうよ。
Suzuha used the last of her energy to reach the sofa. She collapsed on top of it and closed her eyes. Calm down, she told herself.
まゆし、濡れタオル持ってくるね。橋田さん、鈴葉さんの着替えは？
こっち。みんなこの中に。もちろん僕中を漁って、はあはあ、くんかくんかとかしてないから。
くだらないこと言ってると、風邪のウイルスを伝染させてやるよ、兄さん。
Suzuha kept her eyes shut as she complained.
適当に選んで着替えさせてあげても？
頼むよ。僕じゃそういうわけにもいかないから。
はい。
As she listened to the conversation going on around her, Suzuha felt a cold towel on her forehead.
どう？悪いね、まゆ姉さん。気にしないで。
僕ちょっと風邪薬買ってくるからしばらくやろう。
いってらっしゃい。鈴葉さん、起きられますか？お兄さんが戻ってくる前に着替えだけ済ませてしまいましょう。
Suzuha opened her eyes. Yuki was standing over her and looking down.
いや、このままでいいよ。今までもそうしてきたし。
In fact, before Suzuha became a time traveler, there were many times when she'd been unable to rest, even if she was sick. Many times she wasn't able to change clothes or even lie down. Compared to that, this was a lot nicer.
ダメです。風邪は引き始めが肝心ですよ。でも、 でもじゃありません。早く脱いで。
Yuki was a little more forceful than usual as she tried to take Suzuha's clothes off. Suzuha jumped up, surprised.
わかった。やるよ。自分でやる。汗びっしょり。まゆりちゃん、乾いたタオルはある？はい、これ。
Yuki took the towel that Mayuri had brought from the shower room and gently wiped the sweat off of Suzuha's forehead and neck.
くすぐったい。少し我慢してください。子供じゃないんだから。けど、
Suzuha shook as she was rubbed with the towel. She wasn't used to being touched, and this was the first time since she was very young that anyone had done this to her.
もういい。自分でやるってば。別に遠慮しなくても。遠慮とかじゃないから。
Suzuha grabbed the towel from Yuki. Trying her best to hide herself from the gaze of the other two, she took off her clothes and wiped away the sweat. Her face felt really hot. She didn't know if it was because of the fever or not, but she was finding it difficult to think straight.
これでいい？はい、よくできました。あとはこれを着てください。
She grabbed the new pair of underwear and clothes from Yuki. She's still trying to hide herself, she put them on. When she lay back down on the sofa, Yuki put a blanket on her.
まゆりちゃん、このお部屋って洗濯機はないんだっけ？いっつもそれで困るんだよ。まゆし、後でコインランドリーへ行ってくるね。そんなことまでしてくれなくていいってば。こういう時はお互い様ですよ。そうだよ、すずさん。お腹は空いてます？何か食べられそうですか
？Suzuha looked at Yuki, then Mayuri was about to mumble another refusal. Wait, did I read that wrong? Suzuha looked at Yuki, then Mayuri, and was about to mumble another refusal. Thought I said something wrong there. My bad, I'm just confusing myself. But in the end, she gave up and pulled the blanket up to her nose. This was really hard.
お腹はそんなに。でも薬を飲む前に食べておかないと。おかゆなんかどうかな。それいいね。じゃあすぐに作りますから、ちゃんと寝ていてくださいね。うん。
ただいまだお。
Itoru came back from the drugstore a while later.
疲れた。
He was really out of breath. He must have gone running there and back. You're only exhausted because you never exercise, she thought to herself. But for some reason, the sight of her exhausted father made her happy, and she quickly shook her head.
ご苦労様、ダルくん。これからおかゆ作るんだ。それを食べたら薬を飲ませてあげてください。
オッケードッケー。
Itoru walked over to Suzuha as he answered.
具合はどうなん？
よくない。
やっぱ疲れが溜まってたんだな。鈴葉が休んでるとこ見たことないし。
我ながら情けないよ。私、ここにいない方がいいかもしれない。
え？
どこかで気が緩んでたんだ。父さんがいて、まゆ姉さんがいて、ルミ姉さんがいて、いつの間にか母さんまで。そのせいで時々任務を忘れそうになる。なんだか この温かい時間がいつまでも続くんじゃないかって錯覚しそうになったり、このまま戦争なんて起きないんじゃないかってふと考えてしまったり、普通の女の子と同じような暮らしに憧れてしまいそうになったり。
それのどこが悪いって言うん？
When Daru spoke, his face was actually serious for once, and he was looking straight into Suzuha's eyes. It was the face of the father she knew so well, the man who was always there for her.
ここを出てどこへ行くつもりなんだよ。
それはマシンの中とか。
あんなところにずっといられるわけないだろ。
でも
あんなところに娘をずっと置いておけるわけないだろう。
とさ。
For a moment, Suzuha was about to cry. She squeezed the blanket as hard as she could to stop herself. And then...
おっと、なんかマジレスしちゃったお。とにかく僕は可愛い子と一緒にいられるのが嬉しくて、こっそりハーハーしたりクンカクンカするのが楽しみなのだぜ。特に風で汗まみれになってる女の子は大好物です。
やめて。
だったら早く直すといいよ。僕にハスハスされるのが嫌だったらね。
わかったよ。
Suzuha whispered back a response, then turned away from Itaru and pulled the blanket closer.
もしかして今の僕の言葉でトラウマ解消しちゃった？好感度アップ？
バカなこと言ってると治ってからひどい目に遭わせるよ。
ブーツ履いてゴリゴリ踏んづけるとかそういう？
What the hell?
指と爪の間にいろいろ刺す。
それだけはマジで勘弁してください。すみません。
She could smell the pleasant scent of Mayuri and Yuki's cooking from the kitchen.
なあ、鈴葉。そろそろ教えてくんないかな。毎日何をしに出かけてるん？僕にも手伝えることあるかもしんないし。
後で二人きりになったら話すよ。
あ、うん。それでもいいけど。
まゆ姉さんには聞かせられない話なんだ。
え？
Yeah, there is no way she could tell Mayuri. Huh. Well, gang, we already know what that is. We really do know what she's looking for already. Anyways, we're going to stop it here. We're pretty much out of time for this one. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, subscribe. It was actually a really crazy episode. I really enjoyed this one. Probably the most intense episode yet. Even so, there were literally 3 episodes to end Maho's route that was just full of violence and whatnot. That was a pretty crazy one, but I want to say this one really takes the cake. There's a lot of mystery, and you can obviously tell they were going in a new direction. So I'm really excited about all that. But and I hope you guys are excited too. So I hope to see you guys in the next one, and yeah, take it easy.